Welcome to Commander Pop Culture, a place to gather magical information with some laughs, might I add. I call the deck Life Insurance because I thought it was kind of a funny quip where assassins having life insurance, so it's a pretty hazardous career choice. I seriously doubt they have life insurance, but it also has like a nice little innuendo in that when Altair attacks, you get to exile up to one assassin, and then you produce a token copy till end of turn, or end of combat actually. So you're bringing things back to life in a very life insurance-y kind of way. Some thoughts I had about assassins is prior to the Assassin's Creed block is the tribe was very obscure and it didn't have a whole lot of support. And then the set comes out, I would say of the 30 creatures that are in here, 25 of them are from Assassin's Creed. So that's how big of an impact it had on that tribe. Let's get into it. First pick, I have Undercity Eliminator. On ETB, you can sacrifice a creature to exile a creature an opponent controls. I particularly like these ETB clauses that let you sacrifice a permanent you control, i.e. one of your assassins, as fuel for your Altair. And then it becomes repeatable removal. Again and again and again. So like, there's a couple of these in here. There's this one. There is Ruthless Lawbringer, very flexible removal that you could use over and over again when combined with Altair. He has a bit of a bottleneck where the sweep parts on the back end, you have to get rid of stuff on the front end so you can repeatedly bring it back into the game. It's like Chun-Li for specific creatures is how Altair plays. You get one trigger per combat, but once you have multiple things exiled by Altair, you bring them all into play, tapped and attacking. That's when the explosive stuff comes into play. This is another one of your sacrifice clauses. You could sacrifice something of your own, one of your assassins. It's also a card advantage piece. It's pretty dope. It also has plot, so you can play for free later. Thrill Kill Assassin has Unleash because when you bring this back in token form, it's obviously going to be taken away at end of combat. You don't care if it can't block anymore, so it's effectively a 2-3 coming at people all the time. And it has Death Touch, so people don't want to trade with it. Flesh Digger, whenever you sack a creature, you gain a life, scry one. Nice little card selection, and then you could pump up itself. Fills up your graveyard with assassins to enable a target for Altair. An annoying attacker that no one wants to trade with or block or attack into. Massacre Girl is pretty brutal. It's not a main ability, so you have to be kind of careful. Because Altair's attack ability is an up to one, I highly recommend you never select Massacre Girl. Because once you attack and this has a memory counter on it, it comes back every time and it probably scoops up Altair with it. A little dangerous. Ruthless Ripper, a Death Toucher, pretty annoying to deal with. Thorn of the Black Rose, it's a fun monarchy card. It's hard for people to maintain the monarchy because you just get it back over and over again.
King in the castle, king in the castle. I have a chair, I have a chair. Oh, go do this, king in the castle.
And the monarchy triggers on end step, so because you could bring this back in combat, you'll get the monarch back and guarantee that you draw on your end step every single time. Necrotal, another brutal removal piece, so you just can't hit artifacts / black creatures. Marchesa, this is one of your another monarchy kind of cards, only this one's more fun in that you get to make an assassin token if you happen to not be the monarch. Assassin Initiate, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. For 1 mana, you could give it one of 3 keywords. I think with Altair, quantity over quality is desired because you want to attack with Altair and dump as many token versions into play as you can. I don't particularly like it. The moment a better assassin gets printed is the moment this comes out. Ravenloft Adventurer functions the same as the monarchy cards, but instead gives you adventure and can drain people for a bunch of life. Really good. It also exiles people's creatures from their graveyard, so it has a lot of utility. Arno gives you assassins +2/+0. Can't ask for much more when you're playing an aggro strat, and forcing people to trade with tokens must feel awful. Big Game Hunter to blow up things with power 4 or greater. Pretty relevant, and I can do it repeatedly. Violent Tutor. This is in here just so I could tutor for an assassin and dump in my graveyard to exile with Altair. Same with Corpse Connoisseur, does the same thing. Only I guess Corpse Connoisseur lets you do it twice because it has Unearth. Murderous Red Cap. This is a very flexible removal piece. If you're playing against other people that like to clutter the board, you could shoot multiple things off with this. Unfortunately, the tokens get exiled, so you don't get the persist trigger with Red Cap. Plus, it's a token, so it wouldn't work, but it still does 2 damage every time it comes in. Orc Lore Mage. Get to search your library for a card, put it in your graveyard, and it's a repeatable effect. And you could also make them bigger if you target an instant or sorcery, but that's specifically for your creatures. Merciless Harlequin, this is a sweet card advantage piece. On E2E, draw a card. Olivia, the Opulent Outlaw. Whenever one or more outlaws, i.e. your assassins are part of the outlaw keyword, you make a treasure. So if you attack 3 opponents, you connect with them, you make 3 treasures, and then it's a handware garrison effect. You sack 2 treasures, pay 3 mana, you put 2 counters on everything. Pretty darn scary. This is more threatening and probably one of your finisher spells of the deck. Poison Blade Mentor gives it another assassin death touch. So like, it forces people to take damage instead of trading their creatures off. Mari the Killing Quill, this is another exiling piece for creatures. Oddly enough, they both put hit counters, this and Ravenloft. So effectively, they both affect each other.
You son of a bitch.
Pretty nice. How she works is whenever an assassin deals damage to a player, you get to remove a hit counter from a card that player owns, and you get 2 treasures and you get to draw a card. Nice deal. Little counteractive between this and the adventurer, but drawing is king, and I love drawing cards. Brotherhood Assassin, it's an annoying 6/3 that no one wants to trade with. Ishin 2 Heavens is 1. This lets me exile 2 things instead of 1 and makes me make double the token because this is 1 giant attack trigger. Perfect in what I want to be doing with Altair. Desmond Miles, little counterproductive because you're exiling stuff from your graveyard, so it doesn't size up that well. But I appreciate the Surveil trigger in that I can fill my graveyard with more assassins. On death, you make people lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. And it's a 4/1 to force people to trade with. Karlach, Fury of Avernus. I like this extra combat spell a lot because he himself doesn't need to attack like most of the creatures out there that give extra combat steps. It just cares if you have attacked and gives you a bonus one, obviously, so you could get through Altair's bottleneck faster. Aurelia the War Leader, one of the all-time best Boros extra combat cards in the game. Most of the extra combat stuff has gotten incredibly expensive because it's popular, unfortunately. Monetary Raid, I'm excited to play free running. Fortunately, my whole deck's full of assassins, so I could trigger this in multiple different ways, but if you never noticed, it says or commander at the end in italics in the description of free running. It's a keyword that's useful in all commander decks. It's nice. And it's a really sweet impulse. Love it. Excited to play it in all my red decks. For 26 cents, it's a good deal. If you're in red and you're playing on a budget, start running that. Overpowering Attack. This is a new extra combat spell that also has free running. It's basically a 3 mana, 28 cent extra combat. Can't complain. Considering how most of the extra combat stuff is expensive as hell. Bury Alive. This lets you find your 3 best assassins and ditch them to your graveyard. Probably your best tutor in your deck. Response Resurgence, another cheap extra combat step for 5 mana. It also has some flex, and it lets you shoot an attacking or blocking creature for 5 damage. Lavasphere Boots. This is a very commander-centric deck, so keeping him alive will be very important. He also doesn't have haste, so not only do these boots function for getting your game plan going, but it also keeps your stuff alive. Sundial the Infinite, this is a fun card in this list. You could deal damage with your tokens, and then while the end of combat triggers on the stack, you could end your turn and keep all your tokens that you make and start stockpiling them. It's a great Sundial deck. Descendant's Fury. This is a fun little Polymarsh card. Whenever a creature deals damage to a player, you can sack it and then reveal cards off the top of your library till you reveal a creature that shares the same type and dump it into play. So this lets me rifle through my deck and find my assassins as fast as possible.
The hits just keep on coming.
True Conviction, it's a finisher, gives your stuff double strike and lifelink. Can't ask for more. And as for my lands, there's not a lot of utility in here. It's mostly just fixing. I have Ghost Quarter, that's about it. For a 3-color deck and only investing $16 into your mana base, that's a pretty sweet deal. Most of it comes in untapped. If it comes in tapped, it could either tutor or taps for all 3 of your colors. And that's the only exception I make because I absolutely loathe tap lands, but since I'm playing on a budget, this is around $100. I make that sacrifice for consistency. Now that you've seen the deck, let's play it. If you enjoyed, subscribe. Thanks for your time. Take care.